Hello everybody, this is Andrew Wayne. I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to a new game that I've discovered. It's called PLANETBASE. PLANETBASE is a colony management game. You want to start and build a colony managing your people. You want to make sure that they're supplied with oxygen, food, water, or there's not an end game to this that I've discovered. It's more of an ongoing build a sustaining colony. You have, in the beginning, you only have one planet to choose from. You can open up two others, but you actually have to get certain achievements to get to those two other colonies. The first one is a desert planet. I just got this game yesterday, so I don't know everything about it, but I wanted to introduce you to it. And today we're going to go through the tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. It says build small structures at the beginning of the game when you have few resources, then switch to larger ones later as they are more cost efficient. Okay, just to give you a heads up, you're going to hear my keys when I type, and if you guys can figure out a way to stop that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, when the lander lands, obviously, and the doors open, I believe you get 7 colonists and 2 robots. Sorry about that, y'all didn't want to hear me cough. It says, welcome to PLANETBASE. In PLANETBASE, you control a group of human pioneers in the not so distant future trying to establish an outpost on a remote planet. Okay. Come on. The first thing to learn is the basic camera controllers. To pan the camera, use the WASD keys. Place the mouse at the edge of the screen. To rotate the camera, use the Q and E screens or drag the middle mouse. So Q, let's see, okay. So there's E, Q, W, S, A, well, I guess that's it. You can check out the full camera controls in the help menu. The top priority after landing is to build some basic structures to keep your people alive. You can build structures using the main menu situated on the top left of the screen. Most structures require metal and bioplastic to be built. You have a limited supply of these in the colony ship, so you should be extremely careful when spending it. And my mouse is stuck. There it goes. The first thing to do is to build an oxygen generator so your colonists can breathe when the oxygen in their spacesuits run out. So we go up here as it's indicating, choose structures, choose interior structures, and then oxygen generator. And it will indicate where it wants you to build since this is a tutorial. The oxygen generator requires power to operate. Power can be generated with a solar panel. Go back to structures. Exterior structures, solar panel, and once again it'll tell you where to build it. Now that the solar panel is placed, you need to connect it to the oxygen generator. Connecting structures allow them to share power and water, and in the case of interior structures allows colonists to walk between them. To connect two structures, you will need to click on one of them, then click on the other. If a connection is possible, a connection button will appear. So click on one, click on the other, and then there's the button. You have the option of increasing the speed. You can do that by going up in the top left-hand corner and clicking the adjust speed button, or use the plus and minus keys on your keyboard. You can go up to 2 times, then 4 times as fast as it'll go. And then the minus button will take you back down. Note that you will only be able to place new structures in such a way that they can be connected to the existing ones. Potential connections are indicated by a green line. The oxygen generator will also need the oxygen generator also needs a water supply to function. So you will need to build a water extractor. Water and power generation structures need to be directly connected, don't need to be directly connected to the destination structure. They just need to be part of the same connection grid. So go back to, you're going to have to be careful about that. If you over mouse and you go to those corners like this, it will move it and it drives me up the wall. I wish there was a way to disable that and just let me move by keyboard. So structures, exterior structures, water extractor, right there. Click. That's not letting me click it. Click, connect. Now you should build an airlock so your colonists can get inside the base. Structures, interior structures, airlock. Now I'm going to speed it up so we don't have to sit through here waiting for them to catch up. Okay, I've slowed it back down. The structures have been built. We've built 4 structures so far. Well done. The airlock is slow to use. Later on, you might want to build more than one to avoid congestion. Your colony ship contains some food, supplies, and you can get water from the extractor, so you can now build a canteen so your colonists can eat and drink. Okay. Let's back up a little bit. Go to structures, interior, canteen, goes right here, and connect. And then we'll speed it up. The canteen's been built, but they didn't do the walkway. They sent the robot out to do the walkway, I guess. Note that interior structures always need to be connected to at least one other interior structure so colonists can move between. Some structures have components placed in them. Some structures can have components placed in them. These provide additional functionality. You should now build some components in the canteen: a table, a drinking fountain, and a video screen. To build components, click on the structure to select it, then click on the edit button. If you'll notice right now, the structures say O2 is low and they're in red. Every time you click create a new facility that's connected to the existing oxygen, it takes a moment for it all to equalize. So you notice that it equalized here, it's equalized here, now it's equalized. It just takes a moment. Also, if you build too many structures, then you may need to add additional oxygen generators, because the further away from the oxygen generator that particular structure is, the longer it takes for the oxygen to get there, and it can be depleted before it ever makes it to the structure. But let's go ahead and continue. We're going to go into the canteen, hit the edit, and we're to add a table. We'll just add a table here. We're to add a water fountain. We'll just add it there. And we're adding television, and we'll just add it right here so everybody from the table can see it. There we go. Then we back out. It says, well done. Your colonists will now use the canteen components when they need to eat or drink. Sometimes you may want to have a closer look at what's going on inside your base. You can use the Show Tops menu or the Tab key to hide or show the roofs of the building. So here is the Show Tops. So it removed it so you can see what's happening inside. The structures like the dome are dead ends. Like the dorm are dead ends. They can only be connected to one other structure. You should take this into account when you're designing your base. So let's go ahead and replace all the tops. Now we're going to go back to build interiors, and we're going to build a dorm, and it's going to go right here. Connect, and we'll speed it up so it can finish its construction. And you can see the airlock area. There's congestion at the airlock. Looks like they're just letting them through one at a time. And the characters will actually have little icons above them letting you know if they're having any issues, which it looks like in this case their little water drops means they're getting dehydrated, so they'll start making their way to the water fountain once it gets built. Okay, let's go ahead and slow it down. Our dorm's been built. Give it a moment to get the oxygen in there. And you can see that oxygen is building, and it needs to be at 22%. Okay. And you'll notice that when this came active, the oxygen here became depleted. So it takes a moment to build it all back up. Okay, it's at 18 and climbing, but we can go in now and add our components. In this case, it's a bunk. And I don't remember how many you can actually put in here. I want to say it was 6, it might be 5, but just go ahead and add a bunk. Your colonists need to eat, drink, sleep. So you want to make sure you provide all these things for them. What we're waiting on right now is for them to build the bed. Let's speed it up, see what happens. So you can see all the colonists, not all of them, but some of them have Z's over them. That means they're sleepy. If they have water, that means they're thirsty. You can actually click on the colonists and get the any issues they may have. Power storage. Structures require varying amounts of power to function at any given time. If the base requires more power than produced by the generators, structures will shut down, which could easily have fatal consequences. Solar panels only work during the day, so if you intend to survive the night, you will need to build some wind turbines that can produce power all day and power collectors that can store power for later use. Most structures can be built in different sizes. Larger structures require more resources but provide additional space and functionality. Come on. So we need to place a medium-sized power collector, a medium-sized wind turbine. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the collector first. So we go to structures, exterior structures. Let's do the power collector, and we'll put that there. And you see how it's too small. To increase it, you roll your mouse wheel. If you go one size, two size, so it goes up to, you have 3 different sizes. So we'll go to the medium size, put it there, and connect it. Well, I said we would. There we go. Next we need to go back to structures, exterior structures, and wind turbine. Same thing there. Scroll your mouse wheel to create a larger structure. We can create 2 connections. We connect it here or here. We'll just connect it there. And then we'll fast forward it until the structure is finished. Okay, it's all been built. Power management is a critical part of running your base. You will typically need a combination of several solar panels, wind turbines, and power collectors to ensure there is a constant flow of electricity. One of the main challenges you will face will be to maintain a constant supply of food for your colonists. Food is usually grown in vegetable pads in the biodome, then processed in the meal maker in the canteen. So we need to place a structure. And it says we're going to place a biodome, so go to Structures, Interior, Biodome, place it here and connect it. We're going to connect all structures, which, let's see, did we? There we go. Place components. Well, once it gets built, we're going to place a tomato pad, an onion pad, and a meal maker. So we'll go ahead and fast forward it and wait for everything to be built. Now, just one word of caution, this is the tutorial, so they're giving you a lot more supplies and time than you normally start with. If you'll notice, we haven't had a day cycle or a night cycle yet. It shows that we landed at, we're still on the first day, it's 8 in the morning. So it's been 8 in the morning since we got here. Time is not an issue here. Okay, so we built the, the biodome, and we connected it. Now we need to go in. Let's take everything out, go in, go to edit. We're going to add a tomato pad. This is the small biodome, so you can put 4 pads, 1 in each corner. So we're going to go one here, and the onions, and one here. And then once that's done, and you could also just go ahead and place the meal maker. I'm just waiting to see. So the tomatoes are done, and the onions are done. So we'll go over here, choose the canteen, edit, place the meal maker. We're going to place the meal maker right here next to the water fountain. And it's still on fast forward, so we'll wait for the construction to finish. Construction is done. Note that vegetable pads need to be maintained by a biologist. If not, they will decay and eventually stop producing. Most structures, including the colony ship, can be recycled to get back resources from them. So they want us to recycle the colony ship. We're going to do that, and then I think we'll call it there. Note that you will only be able to recycle structures if this doesn't isolate any of the existing ones. In order to survive the medium term, you will need to produce more resources so you can build more advanced structures. You can build a mine to extract ore from it. Mines have to be built at the base of a mountain, and they need another structure nearby to be connected to. Now this tutorial goes on for a little bit more, but we're going to go ahead and call it here. As you can see, we've already, and let me back up a little bit. We're already well on our way to starting our colony. We have our airlock, we have oxygen generation, we have water, we have energy generation, energy storage, we have food generation, a canteen, and a bunk. Now obviously there are going to be a lot more components. It's going to be up to you how you build it and design it to within reason. For instance, you're not going to be able to place a building way out here until you build out to this area. Also, you are limited in how much range you have. So let's go forward and see how far we can go. And that's it here. Turn around and you can see your colony. Now unfortunately you can't go higher. I went to the website and they said that was a purpose built into the system. They want you to be able to stay at a certain level. So the only way you can go higher, really, that I've kind of learned to cheat, is to go up high structures. So if there's a mountain in your way, you can climb on top of the mountain and see. So for instance, like this mountain range here, which is close to our base, you can get on top of it and you can climb up a little bit higher just to get an aerial view and see our base. But there's our base. This is the introduction to PlanetBase. We're well on our way. It's an interesting little game. I don't think there's an in-game component to it yet. However, according to the website, they're still adding things to it, making adjustments and stuff, just like pretty much any game is. But I hope you enjoyed it. I got this off of Steam. And if you enjoy the strategy type games, please give this one a consideration. I think you'd really enjoy it.